Hey everybody, Shane here, daily-astrocat.com, and today is Thursday, the 30th of July. So our moon is going to be in Aquarius, and it's going to go void of course at 5:27 p.m., and it's not going to enter Pisces until 8:14 in the morning on Friday. So we've got ourselves a little bit of time to get some stuff done, right? Yesterday, that energy was amazing. I don't even know what to tell you. We had probably over 17,000 views on this channel, which is insane. That's the highest I've ever had for a day. And that's across all platforms. So I thank you all for that, and I really appreciate it. Now, the lunar nodal shift that left Pisces and the Pisces/Virgo axis yesterday for the Aquarius Leo, that was yesterday as well. And that had like a huge effect, right? Today, we're still going to feel that. And also that Venus-Mars square has been affecting a lot of people too. Although we do have that Jupiter thing, like is evidenced by the viewer tally and things like, and other such things. It was a very positive day personally for energy for me. And I hope it was the same for you. Now, let's do this. We're going to unpack that Venus, Mars, and the nodes later. But what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about using today's Aquarian energy to get through the workday in an unconventional style as we begin to adjust to the changing way that Saturn and Aries expressions are being felt. Those challenges feel a little different. They're not quite the same. They're more like learning experiences. We're going to have to go back and take the lessons from these and really put them into play. So we're really beginning to develop some ideas here that are going to be very, very useful as we go forward, as we begin to discover what it is we need to be doing inside of ourselves. Now, to mention that energy, right? Now, this shift is not without emotions, okay? Mercury is still not out of that shadow period, not till tomorrow, not till Friday. And look, and it's been hard, and it's hitting Virgo placements even harder. All right? The nodes have been, while they're never totally straight, clear and straightforward, have left us with a mystery to unravel. So you've got some work to do here. And you have until Sunday to do some of this emotional heavy lifting and work out where it is that you're going to be in all of this and beyond and more, right? And today's keyword is emanation. Don't even know where that comes from, but something is emanating from within us, and we're going to be able to put this to good use. So let's do this. The color is purple haze, just because old song, right? It's kind of appropriate. I like to think of it like Monet's Water Lilies or something like that. The sun in Leo has us feeling unbridled, right? We want to just charge forward now. It's like, okay, hey, we're here. We've arrived. But if you look at the news, you're going to see some unhinged stuff. There's unbased claims, performative rhetoric, and cringe-worthy war of words going on all over the place. Now, why is this happening? Well, we got to point our finger at Venus square Mars. That's the most likely culprit. Remember that with Mars and Gemini, our communication center, words, and how we're communicating can become weapons. And boy, have they ever. Look, even amongst people in the esoteric communities, which are generally nice and supportive, there's a war of words that is intended to divide and gain attention. Now, I'm telling you this because I know it firsthand. I was subjected to this I was subjected to this just yesterday, right? It wasn't about the nature of what I speak to or the energies that I'm making available for everybody, but it was a personal attack telling me what I think I know, which is always expressed as, to me, as everything. You think you know everything, yet in concluding how I don't know anything. Right? So, to be honest, I merely removed that comment because these types of opinions don't deserve the space, nor do they deserve the attention that they're attempting to stir up, right? I'm not going to give that oxygen. I'm not going to do that, right? So, look, I bring this up as a way of, I don't bring it up as a way of, saying, oh, my goodness, whatever. I bring it up as a way of telling you that this is happening, and I've seen it happening all around, and now to have it happen to just in a tangential way to me, it's like, yeah, look, don't care, and you can expect a few more days of these kind of interactions, because honestly, until that Venus and Mars start separating more a little bit, because Venus is still moving at a faster clip than Mars, obviously, that they won't be in that square position for too long. So, and if you remember from yesterday, there was a T-square in there, too, that was pointing towards Pisces. Oh, that emotion, right? Yes. Opposite Venus. Yeah, we're going to get into that, too. So, look, ultimately, how we handle these situations affects our overall vibration, right? And look, and really, the attention-seeking behavior is just ill-timed. It really is. It's just there's no need for it. Now, the moon in Aquarius can try to get look, this moon in Aquarius is going to try to get away with shit. Okay, it can try, and for real, we've seen it steadily building as decorum breaks down and the modeled behavior suffers and degrades. So not mottled or spotted or anything like that, but emulated, modeled behavior is just starting to sink a little bit, right? Because of the way people talk to each other online, the faceless, the unknown, the flaming and stuff like that. Now, you would think that a shift in the nodes would put us on high alert for Aquarian opportunities. But the nodes don't work that way. The nodes are constantly retrograde, and so the opposite is actually true. We need to not disengage, that impassioned, that dispassionate thing, that remove that abstract Aquarian way of viewing things, but rather engage with passion and dare to lead with courage, bravery, and executive ability. Honestly, that's really what it is, and it can't hurt that if we embrace the Leo season and totally mess things up. It just can't, right? Look, Jupiter in Leo is going to find a way to set it right. In other words, you can Leo season with Jupiter conjunct the Sun right now at the head of that creative basket, that cradle. Basically, you can fall in shit and come up smelling like roses. My grandfather, a consummate Leo, always happened with him, right? And he would. He always put on stuff to make himself smell good every day when he left the house, too. So, look, as noted before, I saw a Virgo thread online talking about how emotional yesterday was. I did. It was crazy. People are like, oh, my God, I'm crying. I'm doing this, just raw emotion. And look, it's understandable, right? Mars square Venus with Mercury in Cancer will do that and more. We spent the last 18 months with that node in the Pisces Virgo line, right? Where we were trying to use that emotion. We weren't using emotion. We were getting away from emotion, using analysis and logic as a way to deal with some overly emotional things. Now, all of a sudden, that wind, right? It's like almost like it was a boat or something pushing that boat along. That wind goes away. The boat's leaning to one side. Now it comes back, right? That's that flood of emotion you're feeling. The way that those opposites work, right? You need that complementary emotional guidance, for lack of a better word, the intuition, the Pisces, the artistic stuff to help round out that Virgo experience of just being analytic and just being exact, detailed, precise. And honestly, that is enough of an emotional pushback that it's like, whoa, all of a sudden all the emotions come in. Now, look, with Mercury in Cancer, so think about it this way. Spent the last 18 months trying to tamp down our emotions and make use of the Virgo style analysis and logic. With Mercury in Cancer, that logic fails. Now that nodal push is over, and the wind that was blowing from Pisces to Virgo has shifted. This opens many up to the flood of emotions that are going to be somewhat repressed by the nodes, how the nodes were working, right? Because that boat coming back, all of a sudden the emotions come back, right? We were pushing them aside with some of that logic and the reasoning, but now it's like, oh, okay. Now, so think about this. Now that they shift into Leo, this Leo thing is going to go harder. right? The nodes are going to go harder in Leo, right? Because it's coming from Aquarius into Leo, and we're moving towards that Leo stuff. So we're going to go harder that way and less on, Now, think about this, though. If you think that that's going to be like, well, Shane, wouldn't that diminish what Pluto is doing in Aquarius? Maybe a little bit. We have to give rise to new people that are going to be speaking and leading and doing the things that need to be done to get us away from the old order, right? You got to build up a new order as we do that, and we do that by finding new leaders, right? That's part of the process. It's part of the electoral process in democratized countries, and Darwin takes care of that. Nature will take care of that, and the other ones, the authoritarian type of things that don't have that many choices. Now, think about this. The moon trine Mars occurs at the retrograde, all right? So the moon trines Mars, not at the retrograde, Shane. The moon trines Mars right as the moon goes void of course. How that got retrograde in there, I don't know, but that's okay. Expect a late night tonight. That's what happens when the moon is in aspects with Mars. We tend to go late and go hard, right? Make it as creative or productive as you care to. Personal energy and enlightenment are too precious to cast away, so don't do that. Yesterday, one lucky listener got a free personal chart consultation by me, and it was fun. I got to tell you, doing these is fun. I enjoy doing it, and it was enlightening for the person that happened to win, so it was very good. So stay tuned to see if you could possibly be next, or maybe we'll even announce where we're going to start doing some readings, because that really was fun. So in 1935, the first Penguin books is published. Paperbacks, right? Starting the paperback revolution in 1935. And our birth, well, besides my wife, happy birthday, Carrie, and she's got to work all night, so she's going to be going all night too. So anyway, in 1751, Maria Anna Mozart, so basically they called her Marianne, or Nannerl, which is kind of like a strange Austrian way of the names that they gave, like Catherine would be Catterall and Nannerl. So she's a Nannerl. So Nannerl, as she was known, is an Austrian pianist, quite accomplished, right? Quite accomplished, and Wolfgang's sister, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's sister. She's born in Salzburg in the Austrian Empire, and she died in 1829, and that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate and love every single one of you. Let's go back and recap this, shall we? Our color is purple haze, and the key word is emanation. Make sure you're emanating the good things for everybody, right? I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the love. Thank you so much for such a huge day yesterday. Oh, my goodness. I can't even tell you. I used to lament over Facebook and Instagram saying, we're not getting any traction because all the traction was on TikTok. That is not true anymore. My goodness. It was almost 14,000 between Facebook and Instagram just for the short version. And if you're, honestly, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Give me questions. Give me comments. Make them good, too. Happy astrocatting.